Last time on Arma 3 I learned about the basics of the game, and I found that it's not really that different from a lot of first person shooters. It shares the WASD movement controls both with moving on foot and while in a vehicle. You can still left click to shoot, right click to zoom in, there's stances, there's grenades. Maybe the most unique thing was that it has an in-game paper map which you can set waypoints and draw on it, or write names, and a compass as well, and the compass is really going to be helpful for finding the exact location an enemy is at or where a team wants you to go. But this episode is the VR training, that's not virtual reality such as the Oculus Rift or the Vive. This is, I guess, a bit like a toy box of Arma 3. Get to play with a bunch of different weapons and vehicles. Stuff like rifles, sniper rifles, rocket launchers, explosives, and you even get to fly a helicopter. Yeah. The VR mode started with controlling troops or ordering troops around, setting them into different columns such as the wedge or line formation, and trying to figure out, or I guess making us look at their pathfinding, I guess just to understand the AI a bit better. And this is going to be important for the future because it will let me know if the AI will hide behind trees, if they'll hide behind rocks, how will they move. And I think there may be times in the future where I'll be able to control the AI a bit, as in just order them around as a commander, captain or something. I don't know. So what did I expect? What did I expect on a map like this? So honestly, I kind of found this kind of confusing because I have to use the F buttons, and not only does that allow me to change their formation, but I can also use a different button to change their stance and change their mode, such as combat mode or stealth mode. It seems pretty complex, but I'm not really so focused about controlling the AI in this game. I'm more focused about teamwork with other people online. I could also control the AI to heal other people, such as be a medic, repair vehicles, deactivate a mine, be a driver of a vehicle, or get in the gun position. Now that is style right there. wait. Oh, I failed that. Oh, come on. And then I got to do some more target practice. It tried to teach me about leading targets, which I found really hard. Just look at this. Oh my god. I'm a freaking stormtrooper. I mean, I'm close, right? Hey, you got it. It's kind of the problem with this VR mode. You can't really see the scale of, I guess, the ground and the background, because everything's almost grey, either light or dark grey, so you can't really see bullets kick up some dirt. It all feels very unnatural when you are in it and playing it. It seems to be different every game, you know? And I've never shot a gun in real life, I never want to. So it took me a lot of time just to learn how to lead these guys so I can actually hit them. Then I got to play a bit of weapon in a bit of a mobile targeting range. That was fun. I also got to shoot drones with the M249. I love that gun. I think it sounds amazing. It looks amazing. It's just my style of just spamming. I like suppressing people instead of shooting people directly. It's a teamwork gun, and a lot of people use it for shooting people instead of suppressing. I did go through a stabilized tutorial where you can just simply move up to a wall or something and your gun automatically stabilizes on that. I was expecting an animation or something, but it just pops up automatically, which is kind of weird for this game, honestly. I also got to try it against a crowd of bots. Oh gosh, look at them all. On multiplayer, I will not find a lot of people that close. But if I do, I hope I have the M249 fully loaded with me. Some objects also have alternate sights for shorter ranges. Is that a bird? that's a plane, I think. That's what. Okay, sure. Realism. And then maybe even harder than leading the targets in this, I had to try a bit of sniper rifles or learning how to use the optics and figuring out the bullet drop. This was really hard because it's like leading targets. Bullet drop, it seems to be different in every game as well, because every game is trying to simulate its own special, what they think is realistic gravity. And I found this hard with the sniper rifle. It took me a long time, really. Reticles use mathematics to measure distances to use them properly. You need to know your target's height and or width. Divide the size in meters by the number of mil dots or it takes up in the reticle. Multiply by 1000 to get the distance. What the fuck? That's maths. Then I had to deactivate some explosives. Oh fuck! I think this was pretty cool, but I think this is more something which the AI would have to do usually. As in the AI would plant them in certain areas rather than players. I know, I'm sure players can put down their own explosives, but I don't expect them to put them in realistic positions like this. They'd put them inside cars or under cars and things. I expect players to put them out in the middle of nowhere, because you won't really be looking for this kind of stuff unless you're already aware of it by someone getting killed earlier. But it is possible to deactivate the traps if you just crawl up to it, like Metal Gear Solid Snake style. And I got to set up some of my own explosives in this VR training, both claymore mines and anti-tank mines. That's one of those mines which jumps up into the air and then it explodes, rather than just explodes while underneath the ground. So it kind of kills. It's more of a humane mine. It kills people in the head rather than just their feet, and makes them disabled all the time. I also got to try some of the rockets as well. Both guarded and unguarded missiles and anti-air missiles. Oh, use flares. And I don't know why, but I was surprised that there's drones in this. As in, drones which you have to shoot down and drones which you can control. And this is still a controversial thing in the world at the moment, isn't it? Like, should drones be having guns and be killing people? It kind of takes that human to human element out of it, and I guess it takes out a lot of insensitivity towards human life. I think it really does make you think about that question, like, when will it stop? When will this arms race with technology stop? How many guns are we going to give to robots until something like Judgment Day from Terminator 2 happens? It's kind of scary to think about it. What do you think about drones? And then I got to fly a heli. The helis are Nope. Really? I was trying to land it. They're sensitive. You can see the table at the top left. It shows you your height and your speed. I think that's very important. It's like almost flying, watching those numbers instead of the actual screen, what you see through the windows of the helicopter. And thanks to the stream chat, they told me that I can actually look outside the helicopter just to see what kind of helicopter it is, and it allowed me to fly a bit better, I found. Pigs can definitely fly. Also, while sitting down in the cockpit view, in the driver's seat, I could press left alt and I could look around. I could zoom into the details and things. And this table up the top left, this is cool, it helps me and all, but there are harder difficulties in this game which allow for less of a HUDs. So the table would not be there. And I would have to use the actual dials and other methods of controlling the helicopter. So it would be a lot harder and less easy. But like I said, the helicopter was sensitive and I had a lot of trouble landing. Gosh, it's so sensitive. But it's like that with every game where you control a helicopter. Not many games. It's another one of those things where each game just does it differently. Each game has its own idea of what the physics are for it. And the problem is this could be the most realistic example of leading targets, bullet drop, and flying helicopters. I don't know. It would make sense if this was more realistic than something such as Battlefield. But there's a big difference, and I'm not sure if I could really describe this. It's kind of something which you have to experience yourself by actually playing it instead of just watching footage of it. I also got to fly a proper attack helicopter like an Apache or something, whatever it was called. Comanche? Oh, I don't know. And I got to shoot some weapons on it, but I noticed it's a lot easier with the gunner. All I have to do is point the gunner at a location and they'll fire automatically. If it's an AI guy. If it's a person, then they'll probably be stupid and they won't know what to do. And certain helicopters can pick up vehicles. I only had to pick up a little ATV. I did feel its weight swing around a bit, and that was kind of hard. It took me a while to learn how to get that on the floor and pick it up and things. It's pretty cool. I just have to put this little marker over it, press the button at the right time, and do the same thing to try and drop it. Oh crap, up. I thought that would be a lot harder, but I've seen footage of people in Arma 3 dropping the jeeps and the trucks. I don't think I've seen anyone pick up and drop a tank. I don't know if that's possible, but it allows helicopters to be more flexible. And this is what I want to do in the game. In the future, I want to try and fly a helicopter for hours. It doesn't really sound fun, but to me that sounds interesting because that's a legit that's a legit team player on a server. It's just transport, like you're an Uber driver or you're a taxi driver. You fly people from one point to the other, you go back, read the chat and see where the anti-air is, you go a different direction, you try and keep everyone safe, you find out where everyone wants to go, you drop them there safely, back and forth, while you get to meet and talk to a ton of people. That sounds fun to me. But easily the hardest thing about flying helicopters I found was trying to avoid crash landings. I did not understand this. I struggled with it and I raged. I gave up. I don't think it made sense. It has these icons on the floor and I have to be going a certain speed while the engine just turns itself off. I don't understand it. I'll look it up and I'll try to keep doing it. So now with the boot camp and the VR training over, next episode will be a bit of dress ups, trying to find out what each piece of equipment does. Helmets, vests, guns, and it'll be the first single player mission, playing with other bots, playing with AI, which can all be killed. I don't need them to pass the mission. And putting all these skills which I've shown all into one little video and trying to complete an objective. And all this is going towards multiplayer Arma 3. Understanding and mastering it. I hope you enjoyed this and I'm looking forward to the next one. If you do, give it a rating with a thumb up or thumb down. I'll get to work on the next one and I'll see you then.